A day of fractures and reckonings in Port Charles. June 9 GH recap. In the ever-shifting landscape of Port Charles, June 9 proved to be a day where heartfelt intentions collided with harsh realities, leaving several of its residents at pivotal crossroads. As long-standing bonds were tested and fragile hopes dismantled, the city pulsed with both quiet sorrow and quiet resilience. The morning began with the echo of regret as Lucky Spencer delivered bittersweet news to his sister, Lulu. Having recently proposed to Elizabeth Baldwin in what he had hoped would be a rekindling of a long-lost connection, Lucky was forced to share the painful truth: Elizabeth had declined his proposal. Her refusal, while not entirely unexpected, still landed like a blow for the wandering Spencer, who had hoped that their shared past might offer a foundation for something new. For Lulu, the heartbreak was twofold: first in seeing her brother hurt, and second in learning that he would once again be leaving Port Charles. She knew, deep down, that Lucky was his father's son, a restless soul, more suited for distant roads and unpredictable journeys than domestic stability. With quiet acceptance, she offered him support, despite the ache of another goodbye. Elsewhere, Elizabeth confided in Lucas Jones, unpacking the emotional weight of her decision and acknowledging the finality it brought. Her conversation with Lucas revealed a woman who had chosen growth over nostalgia, clarity over convenience. She was no longer willing to let the past dictate her future. That same theme echoed throughout the day as Brooklyn Quartermain also sought emotional transparency and healing. Together with Elizabeth, she initiated a conversation with Harrison Chase about the importance of moving forward without the shadows of former missteps. Yet as Brooklyn looked ahead, her heart remained tethered to worry, particularly for Gio Palmieri. The young man, once filled with potential and promise, continued to spiral into emotional isolation. In recent weeks, Gio had bristled against any attempt to connect, retreating into a shell hardened by past revelations surrounding his adoption and identity. On this particular Monday, his aloofness was on full display, rejecting efforts by both Brooklyn and Dante Falconeri to reach him. Despite their concern, Gio's walls remained fortified. Only Emma Scorpio Drake managed to get through, her quiet presence offering a space free of judgment. But even Emma's compassion couldn't guarantee a breakthrough. Meanwhile, at the Davis household, tension brewed in the form of a new crisis. Christina Corinthos Davis, driven by her characteristic blend of impulsiveness and loyalty, crafted a bold idea to counter the growing blackmail threat facing her mother, Alexis. Although her plan was born of love, the potential consequences loomed large, especially given Alexis's precarious legal standing and the damage any scandal could bring. The mother-daughter duo found themselves again straddling that delicate line between bold action and unintended fallout. Carly Spencer, too, found herself pulled into the whirlpool of emotional decisions. Cody Bell presented her with a heartfelt proposal, not of marriage, but of opportunity. Intent on turning the Metro Court into the setting for a romantic endeavor that could reset the trajectory of their relationship, Cody pitched the idea with everything he had. Carly listened, skeptical but curious, her instincts caught between self-preservation and the faint tug of possibility. Whether this proposal would be the beginning of something new or a misstep into the past remained to be seen. Elsewhere under the Port Charles sun, Ava Jerome's antics continued to intrigue. Poolside, she found an unlikely partner in Marco Rios, and what began as a casual card game evolved into a show of camaraderie that caught the attention of onlookers, especially Lucas, who couldn't help but be surprised at the easy chemistry the two exuded. But the true storm gathered in the courtroom, where Willow Corinthos confronted Nina Reeves in a charged moment of accusation. With carefully measured restraint, Willow pointed out the cost of Nina's secrecy, particularly regarding the information she had chosen to share with Rick Lansing. Nina, now cornered, faced the fallout of her choices as Rick tightened his grip on a narrative that could shift the balance in the custody dispute. Nina had gambled with truth, and now she was watching the consequences manifest in real time. Michael, caught between the desire to protect his family and the need to shield Willow from further stress, reached out to her with a rare moment of warmth. Recalling a peaceful afternoon with the children, he reminded her of what truly mattered: family, connection, and the small victories of the present. That call stirred hope in Willow, who longed for a resolution that could salvage something from the wreckage of recent months. Yet just as reconciliation seemed within reach, Drew Kane ignited a new wave of discord. Unable to keep his frustration in check, Drew lashed out at Rick with reckless candor. Whether driven by ego or desperation, his outburst played directly into Rick's hands, allowing the cunning attorney to shift the courtroom narrative yet again. What could have been a path toward peace was now cluttered with new obstacles, planted by someone who had once stood as Michael's ally. As the sun set over Port Charles, the day closed not with resolution, but with uncertainty. Michael's efforts to build bridges had been undercut by the very people he had tried to protect. Lulu prepared to say farewell to her brother, knowing that some goodbyes were never truly final. Brooke Lynn's concern for Gio deepened, her hope dimmed but not extinguished. And in the quiet corridors outside the courtroom, Willow waited, hoping that love would prove stronger than deceit, that clarity could triumph over chaos, and that for once, Port Charles might offer its residents a little peace. But as always, peace is fleeting in this town. And Monday was merely a prelude to the storms yet to come.